It was supposed to be the age of smooth transition for Britain's monarchy, Charles firmly on the throne, Camilla gracefully by his side, and the next generation waiting patiently, quietly in the wings. But beneath Buckingham Palace's polished marble floors and glittering chandeliers, a hidden storm brews, an electric, urgent intrigue that eclipses any public spectacle, the inexorable rise of Princess Anne, the iron fist in velvet gloves who, after decades in her brother's shadows, now quietly commands influence sharp enough to reshape the entire Windsor dynasty's future. In public, Anne is the epitome of tireless royal duty, the princess who doesn't seek the limelight, the one who rarely smiles for the tabloids, who attends more public engagements than anyone else, yet departs discreetly before the cameras can fully capture her. But insiders say beneath that stoic veneer lies a formidable strategist, relentlessly realigning power behind the ornate palace walls. Whereas Prince William and Prince Harry's rift dominates headlines, and King Charles's health remains a nervous national question, Anne is emerging decisively as the family's mediator, chief strategist, and de facto fixer in a monarchy teetering on the brink. Her authority is hard-earned. Royal staff confess, Anne doesn't suffer fools, she inspires equal parts fear and respect. She speaks blunt truths to Charles, confronts family disputes head-on, and rarely lets conflict fester. She's made it clear, one trusted courtier admits, either we unify as one family, or the monarchy will become irrelevant. It is a steely ultimatum that has reverberated through every corner of the firm. This forthrightness creates complex alliances and rivalries. William respects her longevity and wisdom, but bristles at her skepticism about his modernizing vision. Camilla, poised between tradition and power, sees Anne's refusal to engage in palace politicking both as a valuable asset and a potential obstacle. A woman senior enough in rank and stature that she cannot be ignored, and too formidable to be placated by quiet courtesy. Recent palace events have evolved from congenial family moments into intense strategic planning sessions, with Anne emerging as a central voice questioning the status quo. She's challenged William's team public image campaigns, questioned the pace and scope of reforms, and at times aligned herself with more conservative courtiers, slowing what she views as dangerously rapid changes. Her voice carries weight in each discussion about royal finances, public engagements, and policy priorities. Anne's influence extends beyond mere protocol. She has forged and deepened ties with charities, veterans organizations, and long-standing garden and agricultural institutions. Her Sherborne House Circle operates almost like a royal think tank, developing sophisticated survival strategies designed to ensure monarchy's relevance without abandoning foundational traditions. Anne's mastery of these networks makes her a silent yet unmistakably visible power broker, shaping loyalties and confidences among diplomats, influential patrons, and civil service officials. Yet the ascent of Anne's influence is not uncontested. Many younger royals and courtiers express quiet apprehension about her growing grip on the day-to-day family affairs. Some whisper that Anne is too loyal to the old ways, too cautious, unwilling to cede even ceremonial scraps of power to those pushing a more progressive agenda. Catherine, the Princess of Wales, maintains a carefully balanced relationship with Anne, publicly respectful of her status and legacy, but privately firm in advancing reform and transparency. Their bond is described by insiders as cordial but tense, a complex choreography of mutual respect, rivalry, and negotiation, each wary of the other's vision for what the monarchy should be. William, widely expected to lead a rejuvenated and youthful monarchy, understands Anne's counsel better than most and acknowledges her stamina. He listens to her, says a palace insider, but sometimes resents the control she wields. At times, she has been seen as the king's most piercing conscience, and occasionally, his harshest critic. Anne's willingness to deliver uncomfortable truths has earned her a double-edged role, a stabilizing force in turbulent times, and a wild card who can disrupt fragile alliances. Camilla perceives Anne as her most unpredictable interlocutor, sometimes staunch ally, occasionally fierce adversary. Reports of disputes over royal representation at state banquets and high-profile ceremonies have surfaced, with an often sharply insisting that the long-term survival of the crown must outweigh personal or factional interests. Public opinion remains fascinated and divided. Anne's famously austere lifestyle, relentless public service, and lack of media seeking resonate deeply with older Britain, those who revere duty and tradition. However, to younger, media-savvy generations, she can appear stubborn, even obstructive, resistant to the sweeping reforms deemed necessary for monarchy's survival in the 21st century. Palace insiders reveal the circulation of a confidential memo suggesting contingency plans should Anne, rather than William or Camilla, become the guiding hand through a future crisis. What once sounded like fantasy has become plausible, a scenario quietly rattling the firmly held conventions of the palace. Anne's dedicated public work on mental health, veteran support, and community charities has created a substantial platform, setting her apart with a network of loyal supporters stretching across diplomatic circles, social services, and nonprofits. Her grasp on both public sentiment and political alliances gives her unmatched leverage in palace affairs. The stakes could not be higher. The monarchy's very identity and survival hinge on decisions being made now. For historians, Anne's rise marks a rare, pivotal phase. Never before in modern history has a second-born princess exercised such subtle yet unyielding influence over the royal family's trajectory. It's no surprise, then, that Anne's growing authority triggers both admiration and alarm among those inside Windsor House tasked with legacy preservation. The tension lingers long after grand state banquets end. The atmosphere thickens in corridors and drawing rooms, visible in the precise choreography of family appearances, and heard in the whispered anxieties of royal advisers. Anne no longer merely participates, she leads quietly, a guardian with nothing to prove and everything to lose. Amidst a family fractured by power struggles, succession anxieties, and public skepticism, her moves might determine whether the House of Windsor adapts and thrives or falls apart. For royal historians and watchers alike, the years ahead promise to reveal whether Princess Anne's forceful hand can secure the dynasty's survival or deepen the fissures that threaten to tear it apart. The royal family stands at a crossroads: modernization or tradition, reconciliation or rivalry, evolution or extinction. One thing is certain: the silent war Princess Anne wages is shaping the crown's future, and the world is watching every calculated move, every pointed glance, every carefully timed smile. Stay tuned. As royal events conclude, tension does not dissolve, it ripples through hallways, private chambers, and even the palace kitchens. Everyone senses it. Behind carefully maintained smiles lie currents of suspicion and rivalry more potent than ever before. For Camilla, this battle is existential. Carrying the scars of a past fraught with scandal, she fiercely guards her influence, every gesture weighed in public scrutiny's harshest light. Kate's meteoric rise forces her into a defensive stance, a struggle to maintain relevance in a monarchy that increasingly looks forward. Conversely, Kate faces the tremendous challenge of balancing tradition with reform. She shoulders the burden of restoring public faith in the crown, aware that every move, every utterance might ignite controversy. The royal children, heirs to this complicated legacy, find themselves caught in crossfires. Prince George and Princess Charlotte are shielded as much as possible, yet insiders say they are already learning the complexity of palace politics, lessons in loyalty, legacy, and survival taught under the tightest confidentiality. As internal alliances shift unpredictably, familial debates intensify, paving the way for potential upheaval and transformation. What's clear: the House of Windsor is at a pivotal junction. Decisions made now will echo through generations. Will it evolve gracefully or fracture irreparably? The war for the crown's future has left the shadows. It is unfolding live before the world's eyes. Stay with us as we chronicle every development, confrontation, and secret in this compelling saga of power, loyalty, legacy, and survival. If you want, I can extend this script further with subplots, insider quotes, more dramatic historical flashbacks, or nuanced character arcs to deepen its intrigue and length even more. Just say the word.